This presentation is to demonstrate SAP Business One and an interface between SAP Business One and Pacejet. SAP Business One is a major small to mid-market enterprise resource planning system, and Pacejet is a freight management and freight shopping system, and the interface between them. If you'd like to learn more about those individual packages, please go to our website. SAP Business One is out there, as well as Pacejet. And now I'd like to start showing the tool. So we'll start with the sales quotation, and we're going to select a customer. We're going to select a customer that is American-based or USA-based, so we don't have to deal with foreign currency. And we're going to create, very simply, a one-line quotation. And we're going to pick this item that's already been primed to work with Pacejet. And what I mean by that is, to make this work, to optimize it, you need to spend some time to populate the supporting data. So in the sales tab here, I'm going to show, we need to know the length, width, height, and weight of the product, and it will calculate the volume so that it knows what can fit into a package and all the proper weights. Also, when you have this, when you use this, set this up, you want to create or select the preferred vendor. Now that vendor will auto-populate when you go to purchase something or from your suppliers, but also within that we want you to populate it with a contact. Because when there's a contact there with email and phone number, those fields eventually get pulled into some of the shipping documents, and they just make the solution more streamlined because you've spent the time to properly configure and populate the supporting tables and database. So we'll go back to the sales order, quote rather, okay? And we'll say, well, you know what, we're going to ship 3 of these. And you see the information came in from the item master, length, width, and height. And we're going to say, well, let's ship actually 5. The weight recalculated, okay? And now what we can do is rate shop it. So we're going to click rate shop, and it's going out to Pacejet, uploading that information, and we're able to click on this little gear, and it's going to go and it is going to shop the rates with the carrier that you have under contract. So whether it's 6 or 8 or 2, it's going to go and return rates for those carriers. In this case, Estes is the least expensive. We're going to go with them, and then we're going to click select rate. And it generated this ticket. All right. This order number is what we will bring into SAP to maintain a correspondence between the Pacejet quote and the SAP quote. And down here is the pricing. Okay. So we're at 205.82. We go back to SAP, and then we say, okay, let's get that rate. As you see, it's not in there yet, and we'll get rate. And it populates it with 205.82, as well as brings that number into SAP at line item level, and there we see that Pacejet number. Now, you can get very sophisticated with these shipments. You can have line 1 go from location A to location B, line 2 be a drop shipment, and then line 3, again, location A to location B, and it will summarize that for you and keep it straight, and it will, in that case, generate 2 different freight tickets, one for your location A to B and one for your drop shipment. In this case, we're going to keep it fairly simple and just go with these 5 items on line 1 from location A to B, which came in from the default from our warehouse and to our customer. I'm going to save the quote. And now we're going to copy it to a sales order. Now you actually can skip these steps. You don't need to start with a quote. You can start with a sales order or a delivery document. But in this case, we'll go through the scenario. We're not making any changes here on the sales order, so we are just going to save it. And it requires a delivery date. So we'll put a T in to solve that. Now we'll add it. Now it's added to sales. Okay. Now what we'll do is do the actual delivery. So we'll copy the sales order to a delivery document. And it brought everything in. Now, because we're actually delivering, we're going to select a carrier. And before we rate shop again, we're going to package it because that can affect the rate. So Pacejet has a very elegant screen here to do the packing. And we're going to put it in a box, this box, and we're going to put it in 2 of the same boxes, the product. Okay, so now we've selected 2 of the same boxes. We need to repackage. So we can't fit 5 in one, so we're going to cut 2 out. And we have 3 in box 1. We'll pull those 2 out and put those in box 2. And that's how easy it is to do in Pacejet. That's pretty elegant. We're going to save it. Okay, now what we need to do is redistribute the freight because not all the weight is in box 1, and we're going to hit this arrow and you see it redistributed the freight. Now we are packaged the way we want to, and now we will go out and rate shop again because the packaging does affect the rate. So we'll go out to those same carriers, determine the best rate, and it automatically selects or defaults the best rate, Estes. We'll go with Estes. And now we'll ship it. Okay, and now it generates another delivery number. Okay, but now this is an actual shipment. Okay, so we have our from and to address, and we have our pricing. And at this point, it's $243.24. And also, what Pacejet did, it generated the shipment documents: bill of lading, shipping label, packing list. Those documents will also be imported into SAP, excuse me, and I'll show you that in a second. At this point, we go back into SAP, okay, and we say, okay, we've selected the carrier, we've repackaged it, let's do the fulfillment. We're going to click on the fulfillment button, brings in that new Pacejet number, and I'm going to show you what happened there in a minute, but basically what happened is the Pacejet packing automatically came into the SAP packing slip verbatim. So we had those 2 boxes, and the way that works is the box codes in SAP match verbatim the box codes in Pacejet, so there is a correspondence. Therefore, it can populate the packing slip. And in box 1, if you remember, we had 3 of the printers, and in box 2, we had 2 of the printers. So the packing slip was automatically populated by Pacejet when we did the fulfillment. So we say, okay, all right. What we also want to do now is get those attachments that I showed you before. So it brought those shipping attachments in. So this can work one of 2 ways. One, if you're shipping from your location, you can print them at will. If you are drop shipping, you can send them to your drop shipper, email them to your drop shipper automatically, and then he will have those to include in his shipment from his location, the drop ship location, to accompany the shipment to the final destination. So we've selected a carrier, we repackaged, redistributed the weight, we fulfilled, and we brought those attachments in. At this point, this document is completed, and we can say, yes, let's add it. And once you add it, it locks up. Okay, and there's that document. Then we also, if you want to see a history for this particular shipment now or forever, you can highlight that line, click on fulfillment, and then we get a fulfillment history stream of what actually happened. So you can see the data in this system brought the rates and the weight and all that good stuff over. It also brought in your URLs for your tracking numbers. Okay. And you can see the details as well of what's in each box. And you can put multiple items in a box. It doesn't have to be the same item. We didn't do that in this example to keep it simple. But you can mix and match, and then it would show you what's in box 1, if it's item A, item B, item C, and the quantities and weights of each. If you wanted to email those attachments, you would click on this button here, and that would automatically email those attachments to the contact email of the vendor that you selected. That's why earlier on I said, as far as the items, you need to populate them as thoroughly as possible, including a preferred vendor, and all your vendors should have contact information with telephone and email, so that will get included on the outbound documents. So that's how simple that would be. Last step, create an invoice. So we're going to copy that. delivery note to the invoice. Really not going to change anything because everything went as planned. We'll add the invoice. We need to tell it that there's no freight, tax and the freight. There we go. Go back to that. Let's view the invoice. And there we are. There's the whole, basically what we call quote to cash scenario with freight management. There's your freight line. That, in a nutshell, did a lot of work. That saves a lot of time. Thank you, and you're welcome to call us if you're interested in learning more about this product. The phone number is 610-374-7644, extension 7005. Thank you.